Lurking in the vile and hideous corners of the internet, there are stories of drinks, rumors really, of shades of cocktails past cyclopean horrors, largely born at the gnawing void in the heart of the 1970s. These drinks are beyond salvation, beyond knowing, really. They have no business existing at all if but there were a God. These are Cursed Cocktails, Volume 1! The history of drink mixing is filled with transcendent and glorious libations, nectar sent straight from Bacchus to improve our daily toil. The drinks I'm doing today are none of that. Today, I am looking at some of the most vile and unholy drinks known to man. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Let's just move it along, though, before I have a chance to reconsider. We're going to kick it right off. This one comes from Twitter, and it's been having kind of a moment the past couple of weeks. Apparently, it was found in a 1975 Kitchen Beverage Companion. This is Beef Fizz. You heard that correctly. Beef Fizz. The recipe calls for 2 cans of condensed beef broth, 1 cup of chilled ginger ale, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You mix them together and pour into glasses over ice. That is the recipe. That is the whole recipe. That's like for a whole party, and since I'm not throwing a swinging key party in 1973, I'm just going to do a single serving, or not even a single serving, it's many servings, but it'll be a half of that. So we're just going to cut that in half. Same proportions, same drink, just less of it. So 1 can of condensed beef broth. By the way, I went to the supermarket in my mask, and you can't really find condensed beef broth in my supermarket. I had to order this online, and I had to buy 33 cans of this stuff to get 1. So if anybody wants some beef broth, let me know. I'll ship it out to you. I have no use for condensed beef broth. I'm going to use the largest mixing glass I have available to me, which is this very tall feller. And we're going to just shake this up, make sure everything is kind of scraped off the insides here. I'm going to crack it open. Just crack open. Boy, hop on down to the fridge here and crack me open another can of that beef broth. Feeling mighty perched. Oh wow, it smells terrible. Oh my God. There is some kind of a seed floating in it. We're just gonna scoop that feller out. It's not a good sign. It smells like dog food. It really does smell like I just opened a can of dog food. It smells literally indistinguishable from dog food. It smells like a can of dog food. In it goes my Campbell's beef broth. Look at that. Oh, what a beautiful pour. The Campbell's beef broth. Now, I've never poured beef broth into a mixing glass, and if I were nose blind and it didn't smell like a giant stinking can of dog food, I would observe that that looks a lot like a flat Coca-Cola, which is interesting. This lemon is oddly small and hard feeling. I don't know how I feel about this lemon. I think I'm gonna need a lot of lemons to get a tablespoon here, but we'll see. So 15 milliliters of, this lemon, even the lemon. The lemon doesn't want to be a part of the drink. It's rebelling. Okay, there we go. 15 milliliters, otherwise known as a tablespoon. Oh yeah, that's gonna make a huge difference. I guess it will, but come on. And then you needed, for the double, for 2 cans of beef broth, you need 1 cup of ginger ale. That's 8 ounces, so I need 4 ounces. Did I consider using a nice ginger beer or something fancy? Yes, of course I did, but it's 1973, or whatever year it is, so no. Nope, just fizzing right out. We're just gonna take this first shot and drink it. It is kind of nostalgic tasting. It's sweet, very sweet ginger ale, but it's kind of just avoiding drinking this. Okay, I need a glass. I'm gonna put this in there. I gotta put this over ice, it says. I'm gonna crack an ice cube into my glass for this delicious beef fizz. So beefy, so fizzy. What do I do here? I mean, I have nothing to strain. I just pour it in, I guess. Beef fizz, here it goes. Oh my God. Just give it a stir over the rocks there. Chill it down, you know? Is it possible that this was like some kind of a diet recipe? Because it does kind of look like a Coke. Maybe it was like some kind of like a, you know, like a high protein thing. It kind of looked like, hey, you just look like you're drinking a Coke, but really, you're drinking Kato juice. It still smells like dog food. I mean, it smells like a can of slightly lemony dog food. Fuck, fuck. Jesus. Oh, jeez. Every part of my body is telling me don't drink that. Okay, guys. I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Beef Fizz. It's bad. Actually, wait. It is terrible. Oh, God, it is bad. It's so salty. That's what it is. It's nice about it. It's so salty. It just tastes like can of beef juice. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. There's no fizz in this at all. Like a 1-to-1 ratio might be actually fizzy. No part of my beef fizz is fizzy. It's just beef juice. It's just, it's so salty. My mouth feels like it's a desert. This is terrible. Actually, truly terrible. Just like a can of canned salt. I'll try to pick it apart for you. Fuck. Kind of a quick bite of lemon and acrid sharpness that I think is mostly just like beef flavors that turns into kind of a gravy taste. Not like good gravy, but like the gravy I grew up with. And then just salt. It's just salty, gross. Woo! Gah! Blah! Schweppes ginger ale is the ginger ale to have when you've got a big mouthful of beef fizz you gotta rinse down. I'm just gonna dump a bunch more ginger ale in here. I just wanna know if there's like some ratio where like there's an idea here. I don't think there is. At least that's fizzing now, right? Like now there's a nice beefy head on there. Ugh. No. Nobody wants this. This is so bad. Oh, God. Okay, so that was Beef Fizz. Beef Fizz is truly terrible. It's just like sticking in my mouth, and I didn't bring anything. Some old water down here. I'm just gonna, is there any bugs in it? Maybe a few. I'm not gonna drink that. All right, Jesus. I really should have thought this out better because I didn't leave anything to like rinse my mouth with here. It's like so salty. It just feels like instant headache material. Let's move this train wreck right along. So this brings me to horse jizz. I'm sorry. Yes, that is its name. This drink is equal parts combination of beer and milk. Where does this drink come from? There's no historical component to this as far as I know. I have looked and I can't find any reference to it anywhere in regards to its being invented. I just found this recipe tucked into a long list of drinks that are bad. If I had to take a guess at who invented it, I'm gonna go with a guy named Scooter, who's a Delta Tau and had heard of milk stout while very drunk and thought it was funny and needed something to torture pledges with. His dad owns a dealership. Beef Fizz is still in my teeth. It's disgusting. So, according to Bruce at Bar Talk and Cocktails, who is great, by the way, and I hope he doesn't mind me taking a crack at this. Oh, shit, man. It should be layered. Well, no, it shouldn't exist at all, really, but if it must exist, we must layer it, I suppose. So, I'm gonna have a big mug here, and my beer cracker. Yeah, my beer cracker. This is my beer cracker. I've decided that's what this is called from now on. Much like you have a crab cracker, a lobster cracker, a nut cracker, I got a beer cracker. My beer cracker, I'm gonna put my beer in here. That's a pretty decent domestic. I'm going for like a real zero head pour here. Not normally how I would pour a beer, but because of the drink we're making with it, that does seem seems like not unwise. The good news is I now have a squirt of beer left here to kind of clean my palate with, should it become necessary. I'm gonna go with just a touch. Nope, we're gonna keep this beer for later when I need that. And the next thing I need is a bar spoon. I'm gonna modify this bar spoon. I'm gonna actually make something I can do a deep float with, simply by bending the head. Yeah, not quite so severe. There we go. And now I can really reach down in there with that sucker nicely. Great. My goal here is I'm gonna pour the milk over the back of the spoon to kind of sort of float it, but really it's just a break because the milk is gonna be denser than the beer, so it's gonna sink to the bottom, and on its way to the bottom will partially curdle and become great. It'll just become great, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's get this beer float going. Milk float. Great. Oh, that's just, Just great. Fantastic. Characteristically, there is a thunderstorm raging outside my studio right now. What the fuck happened there, man? That's 50-50 beer. That is half milk and half beer. Why does it look so cheesy and milky? What happened to my beer? My beer. Where did my beer go? Okay, well, we've made horse jizz. I guess now I must... Oh, God. This looks terrible. There's like a thick raft of curds floating across the top, and it is hissing. I'll put it up by my mic. Got a little activity going on there. It's like thick. It's like it's floating curds. I'm stealing myself. I have to get my nerve up. Beef Fizz was great. Real great. Let's try for horse jizz. Horse jizz. I'm drinking horse jizz. And I don't want to. Much better than you would think. Way better than Beef Fizz. I mean, I just taste beer. The milk's really not doing much to it. I mean, if you really get it out of your head that you're drinking this curdled milk, it does kind of disappear into the drink. For science, I'm going to keep drinking. Because there's more something happening here at the bottom. I want to see if I can get to a place where, no, this is hell. It's disgusting looking. There's no question. It is unbelievably unholy in appearance. Just ridiculous. But if you close your eyes and really be objective about what's happening in your mouth, it's not that bad. Yeah, it gets a little worse. Yeah, it gets a little different as you mix it with beer. Oh, God. The milk becomes more dominant with the beer. It gets worse. Let's go for another. There is always because of the physics of it, the beer always does kind of wind up on top here. And I am using a whole milk. I don't know if that matters. It does. It's not great. It isn't great. It's definitely not great. Between this and Beef Fizz, I gotta go with this one. I think this is better than Beef Fizz. Beef Fizz, it is disgusting. And on top of that, there's some question about like, well, which one's gonna make you sicker? I honestly think it's Beef Fizz, because for me personally, stuff that's like super high in sodium is gonna disagree with me badly. This, I mean, I might get sick on this. I might make me throw up. There's no question. But I feel like I'm still gonna feel worse off Beef Fizz. I think that, I mean, I'm not playing this for laughs at all. Like, I'm just telling you the truth. I think the Beef Fizz would be worse. Whew. Whew. I've got one more cursed cocktail coming up right after the break, but man, I really wish I didn't. It's gonna be terrible. After this, why am I drinking this? Well, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things in the world is smoker's cough. I mean, who doesn't just love that, right? It's just so homey and nostalgic. Really brings me back. Anyway, some sadistic bastard thought, you know, a smoker's cough, that's a thing that ought to be a drink. And despite all of nature's laws crying out in protest, they labored in some unholy laboratory until they had arrived at an appropriate liquid interpretation of their favorite physical malady. Typically, you would do this in a tall shooter type of glass. I don't really have those style of glasses, but these are basically the same thing, just on a stem. These are old punch style glasses, Georgian punch glasses. This is a drink that's made with an ounce of Jagermeister and a healthy dollop of mayonnaise on top. I was certain I had a bottle of Jaeger somewhere around here. I didn't. I only had this bottle of Jagermeister cold brew. And I was ready to pull the plug on this, but then I thought about it. I was like, you know what though? It's still Jagermeister, actually. It's just Jagermeister with a little coffee in it. I think you just throw coffee in here, you just get more of that smoker's cough goodness, really. I just think this is going to be, this will be the real deal. This will be the real deal. So 1 ounce of our Jagermeister cold brew. There are some interesting flavors coming up my throat. And some mayonnaise. I'm not going to buy like a bottle of Hellman's Risk. I happen to have some decent mayo. I have this Sir Kensington's mayo. Why, you may ask? Because sometimes I like mayonnaise on a turkey burger. You know, a little special sauce. The special sauce is like a little mayo, like 50-50 mayo with ketchup, like a dash of mustard. Sweat some onions, dice them up. You know, you basically make like a Big Mac at home. I mean, it can't really be more than that. Like, it has to fit in my mouth. I have not dreaded something like this in a very long while. I just felt the pit of my stomach drop out. That is the drink. That's how Bruce did it on Bar Talk and Cocktails, and power to him for trying to do this himself. I'm looking at it, and I do have to wonder if The intent, should there be one at all, is that this should be shaken, that you should shake it and combine it and pour it. So I'm gonna try and put all of this in my mouth at once. I think that's the way to do this. I'm gonna try and put it all in my mouth at once. I'm gonna just try to do it all at once. I'm just gonna try to put it all in my mouth, all in my mouth. I just gotta try to put it all in my mouth. I just gotta try to put it all in the mouth at once. Here we go. This could be the one. This could be the episode where I throw up on camera. It could happen. I'm gonna do this any second now, I swear to God. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, like, how bad could it be? Come on, how bad could that be? Well, friends, it's been nice knowing you. Bottoms up on a smoker's cough. It is hard. It is hard to complete this movement with this thing in your hand. Smoker's cough. It's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. All of the joy of Jagermeister. And all the sliminess of mayonnaise with a very long chocolate aftertaste, very long coffee aftertaste. Whew, what does it taste like? I mean, does it taste like a smoker's cough? I had to think about that for a second. I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. If like a smoker just like hocked a loogie right into your throat. I mean, it was very good mayonnaise, my fancy mayonnaise. So that helped. That doesn't need to exist. Nobody needed to invent that drink. The world was fine without it. It didn't need to happen. We could have just kept going on, existing without a smoker's cough in the world. It wasn't a thing that was missing. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, Cursed Cocktails Volume 1, because I did not. Will I do this again? I was much more gung-ho about the idea before shooting the episode. Now I'm rethinking things, but I'm going to say what I wrote down, which is that if you ask nicely, very, very nicely, I think if needs be, I could stomach more of this, so just let me know. I'm on Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Greg from HUD, and I'm doing live bar things over there, amongst other things, including a Dungeons & Dragons game that I host on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am DMing with some friends in a homebrew setting that I am developing as we go along. So hop by and check that out if you're into that kind of thing. I hope you are. Please do hang out with us. It's fun. I'm on Twitter at HowToDrink and Instagram at HowToDrink. Both have numbers in the middle. And I have a Patreon at patreon.com/HowToDrink, and thank you for checking those things out. If you like the show, please do the other tuber stuff I'm supposed to ask you to do, but really, maybe just take a look at other of my episodes, like these ones that are popping up, hopefully, at the screen. And I'm going to go leave you with that while I drink mouthwash. See you real soon. Bye. I hate my life.